Today, we are at a high level in terms of uranium enrichment. Of course, countries that want to make nuclear weapons can enrich up to 90%.
There is no more serious danger to our planet today than the most powerful and destructive weapons ever devised by man, of which the United States, as you know, has many. Just as I did in my first term, I've made containing these threats a top priority, starting with the nation of Iran. My position is very simple. The world's #1 sponsor of terror can never be allowed to possess the most dangerous weapon. That's why shortly after taking office, I sent the so-called Supreme Leader a letter making a generous offer. I extended a pledge of full cooperation in exchange for a suspension of Iran's nuclear program. The regime's answer was to continue their constant threats to their neighbors and U.S. interests throughout the region and some great countries that are right nearby. Today, many of Iran's former military commanders, in fact, I can say almost all of them, are no longer with us. They're dead. And 3 months ago, in Operation Midnight Hammer, 7 American B-2 bombers dropped the 14 30,000-pound each bombs on Iran's key nuclear facilities, totally obliterating everything. No other country on earth could have done what we did. No other country has the equipment to do what we did. We have the greatest weapons on earth. We hate to use them. But we did something that for 22 years people wanted to do. With Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity demolished, I immediately brokered an end to the 12-day war, as it's called, between Israel and Iran, with both sides agreeing to fight no longer.
In the current situation, negotiating with the U.S. government will not help our national interests in any way. It will not benefit us in any way, nor will it prevent us from any harm. Negotiating with the U.S. in the current situation will cause great harm to the country, some of which may be irreparable. The other side has threatened that if you do not negotiate, this and that will happen, like bombing and such. From these words, some vague, some explicit threats or negotiations, if you do not negotiate, this and that will happen. This is the threat. So, accepting such negotiations is a sign of Islamic Iran's vulnerability to threats. If you go and negotiate with this threat, it means that we will immediately be afraid and surrender to the other side in the face of any threat. This is what it means. This threat, vulnerability arises and will never end. This opposite side of us, America, breaks its promises in everything, lies in everything, deceives, makes military threats at any time. If they get the chance, they will assassinate people, just as they assassinated our martyred general, Martyr Soleimani. If they can, they will do these things, or they will bomb nuclear centers. This side, that is in this kind of situation, it is impossible to negotiate with this side. It is impossible to sit down and talk with confidence and trust, listen to what is said, and make an agreement. In my opinion, negotiating with the United States on the nuclear issue, and perhaps on other issues, is a complete dead end. Meaning there is no right way, it is a complete dead end. Today, we are at a high level in terms of uranium enrichment. Of course, countries that want to make nuclear weapons can enrich up to 90%. Since we don't need weapons, and we have decided not to have nuclear weapons, we didn't increase it. We increased it to 60%. It's a very high figure. It's a very good figure. And it's necessary for some of the things we need in the country. We did not give in, and we will not give in. We did not give in to pressure in this matter or in any other matter. We did not give in to pressure, and we will not give in to pressure.